Okay, I already have the image uploaded into or open in Illustrator, and you guys will be using the pen tool in order to draw this particular image. Make sure that you have your layers open so that you can see them. The layers should be locked as in the directions, and you should have a new layer. This is the layer that you will be drawing on, layer 2. We are using the pen tool, and please make sure that you are on the pen tool. If you notice on the pen tool button, there are other tools to use. There's add anchor, there's the delete anchor, and there's the convert anchor tool. Those tools you can use while you do this particular project, but first use the pen tool in order to draw your outline. You want to make sure that you have no fill and a black stroke. If you have a fill, as you draw, you begin to cover up part of the image, so you don't want to have a fill. So here's your start and finish point here. You simply come in. When you're using the pen tool, when you click, you hold, you drag. That's when you're able to create a curve. Make sure that you have the two handles. So I click, hold, and I drag just to change the orientation of my point. So now I know that my handle is pointing upwards. So that's where my next point is going to go. I click, I hold, I drag. Now I know that I have to go to the left. So that's the next direction that I'll be turning my point. So I'm moving over to the left, but I'm making sure that I stay within the dotted lines of the image. So as I continue around, all I'm doing is click, holding, and dragging. You want to keep your handles very close to your anchor point. If you get out here, if you notice, your line will become distorted. So you want to keep, right now I'm clicking, I'm holding, and I'm dragging inwards. So now I know that my next point is going to go to my left. If you notice, there's a curve here. So I click here and I make that small curve. So anytime you see a change of direction, you want to make sure you set a point there so a curve is actually in that particular area. So I'm clicking and I'm holding and I'm dragging to create my curves. Click, hold, drag. Click, hold, drag. Click. Right here, there is a point here. So don't necessarily have to click, hold, and drag right here. I'm just going to keep this at its point, and then I'll come here to the, coming back towards my right, and I click and hold, and then I drag again. So now I know that I have a, more of a corner here. If I use my direct selection tool and I click on the corner, if you notice, no handles are on this particular anchor point. If I click on this anchor point, there are more, the handles are there, meaning that it's a curve. So now I'm going to continue with this particular point. If you notice right now, I have the direct selection tool, so that means that I need to go back with my pen tool. So I get my pen tool, I drag over the point where I left off. If you notice, the little cursor icon changes to a forward slash, which means now if I click on that particular point, I'm beginning with that same line. So we're going to continue this line segment all the way around. Click, hold, and drag. Click, hold, and drag. Click, hold, and drag. I have a corner here, so I click once. Come back here, click, hold, and drag. There's a little curve here, so I click, hold, and drag. There's a corner here, so I just click. Come here, click, hold, and drag because there's a small curve. Come over here, click, hold, and drag. And since there is a point right here, I'm going to get very close here just to set that point. But I'm not going to click, hold, and drag. I'm going to come back up towards my upper left, click, hold, and drag. Click, hold, and drag. Click, hold, and drag. And I continue this process until I finish the drawing. Notice that all of my anchors are still close to my points. That's very important because your line segment will become distorted if your handles are too far away from your anchor points. So once you're done, if you notice the cursor changes, the icon, it's like a little 0 or an O, meaning that now I'm getting ready to change this, close this particular line segment. And so now the line segment is closed. If I deselect, this is how my line segment looks. Now, if you notice I'm going to zoom in a little bit. If you notice there are some areas that can be perfected. So I'll go to my direct selection tool. This is when you come in and you click on your line segment. You begin to move your anchors so that it lines up a little bit more with the drawing. And you can zoom in while you're drawing in order to draw a little more precise. I was a little far back when I was doing my drawing. As long as you keep within the shape of the piece. And all I'm doing right now is click holding, and I'm dragging my anchors to the areas they need to be. But notice I might need a curve right here, a slight curve right here. I can come here if I want, and I can readjust this. If I want a curve right here, and since there's no anchor point, that's when you come back over to your add anchor tool here. You click on the line segment and you end up with a point. You go back to your, and you can come in and you can edit this particular piece. Now if you notice, it adheres more to the curve now because I added that point there. So you don't have to get the drawing perfect on your first time around. You can always go back in to adjust your anchors in order for you to get it perfect. Now I'm not going to complete this because I want to make sure that you read the directions and make sure that everything is lined up the way the directions are. You are getting graded for having everything that is needed in the directions. So if you leave something out, anything that you leave out is a deduction of 2 points. So please, 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 I beg you, please make sure that you follow directions. And this is it.